Okay, number 20, or sorry, number 5 here. Got thrown off by the number here. Number 5 here saying, what are functionalized hydrocarbons? Cite an example of a functionalized hydrocarbon. So, functionalized hydrocarbon. And then I want an example. So let me show you what a non-functionalized hydrocarbon would be first. So if I were to do a structural diagram, it would look something like the simplest non-functionalized hydrocarbon would look something like this. It would be methane. So you can think of this as CH4. It's a really bad diagram here. So I have CH4, right? This guy here is methane. Methane, and this is CH4. So again, these guys here only contain carbons and hydrogens, right? So this here is non-functionalized. And you can think of this as it does not possess a functional group. So it only contains C and H. So in this case here, this is non-functionalized. And if I want to look at a functionalized hydrocarbon and give an example, I would basically throw a functional group on top of this guy here. So maybe I'll do an aldehyde or something like that. So I would have, following this structure, what if I had a aldehyde here? So I have a double bond O here. This here would be bond H, and this here is bond H as well. So I have this here is methanaldehyde, or you can say it's formaldehyde for its common name, but I'm going to write down the IUPAC for you as well. So methanaldehyde, or people will just write it as formaldehyde. Formaldehyde. And this here, as you can see, is CH2O, right? So this here is a functionalized group, right? This here, I have some sort of it's functionalized because I have a functional group, right? And as you can see, the C double bond O here makes it a functional group, right? I have something that's not only containing carbon and hydrogen, right? I have, in this case here, I have an oxygen, right? So this guy here is my functional group. I have an carbonyl, you can say a carbonyl functional group. And it doesn't have to be a carbonyl. It could have been like an amine or amide or a carboxylic acid or a alcohol or something like that. It depends on what the functional group is. And these guys specifically give them the properties of what a functionalized hydrocarbon is. So for example, in this one here, I have, again, a dipole-dipole. I have a dipole-dipole force that's working inside in the compound here. It's the most predominant intermolecular force, right? So in this case here, it changes the properties of the hydrocarbon. So let's see. For example, alcohol. The functionalized hydrocarbons are the hydrocarbons attached to the functional or a functional group is incorporated into the hydrocarbon. For example, methanol is a liquid, whereas methane is a gas. Okay, so I guess they're using methane as the non-functionalized and methanol as their functionalized group. So I think their answer is the solution here is incomplete because it doesn't really, like, it says, for example, alcohol, and then it cuts off, right? So I think it might be a copy and paste issue or something like that. So just say solution here is incomplete. Methanol is a functionalized hydrocarbon, whereas methane is a non-functionalized hydrocarbon. And methanol contains a hydroxyl group. Remember, I used formaldehyde as an example. They're using methanol here, so I'm just going to go with this one. Methanol contains a hydroxyl group, which gives it different properties because it contains a OH group. Yeah, there we go. So I'll say solution here is just incomplete because they didn't really fill this out. So I'm going to say solution here is incorrect just for the sake of this.